Hey everybody, this is Bharat Muthuswamy. In this lab demo, we'll give an overview of National Instruments or NI's myDAQ platform. Students are encouraged to use this device for experiments outside the lab. Let's get started. So what is the myDAQ? The myDAQ or My Data Acquisition is a USB-based device that incorporates, in addition to the audio ports, plus or minus 15 volts and 5 volt supplies, analog outputs, analog inputs, and digital I/O. In this lab demo, we'll use the analog inputs to read into the computer the V out and V in from the Schmidt trigger, so we can plot the DC voltage transfer characteristics. So let's go to the lab demo. Okay, so here's the circuit on the breadboard. This is the circuit for plotting the DC transfer characteristics of the Schmidt trigger. For more information on the circuit, please refer to the positive feedback lecture. I've powered the circuit with external plus or minus 5 volt supplies, a function generator that is giving an 8 volt amplitude sine wave at a frequency at 100 Hertz, and the output from the Schmidt trigger, which is V out right here and V in, which is right there, is going into the analog inputs on the myDAQ. So let's look at those connections. Okay, here are the connections to the myDAQ. It's pretty simple enough. The black wire is ground, and the blue and the purple are the outputs from the Schmidt trigger circuit. Let's look at the software interface. Okay, so here is my laptop running the myDAQ toolbar. When you plug in the myDAQ into the laptop, this toolbar pops up, and I've enabled the scope over here. Unfortunately, the scope does not have an XY interface, XY mode. So for those of you who have access to LabVIEW, let me basically stop running the scope. I have written a simple LabVIEW VI. Note, you don't need LabVIEW to use the myDAQ. But I've written a simple VI which basically plots the V out versus V in characteristics for the Schmidt trigger, and there it is. Note again that to understand this V out versus V in, you could go through the positive feedback lab demo. Let's quickly look at the block diagram. Simple enough. Use a DAQ assistant, split the signal, put it on an XY graph, and put the entire thing on a while loop. Okay, that concludes this lab demo. For more information, search online for myDAQ to visit NI's myDAQ website.